Folks, welcome back to the lab. Here we have another lantern project, and happy 2026 to y'all. We got a nice, big, tall drink of water. This is a very old number 2 Defiance. Yes, indeed. Yeah, very unusual looking Defiance. Yeah, you just don't see every day. I've done a lot of Defiance here in the lab. Well, nothing with a round pull ring like that, and nothing with a really weird outside lift. Pretty interesting. And it's hard for me to tell if that's exactly the way it's supposed to work or not. And we'll talk more about that as time goes on here. And yes, it's good. It's got a cap in there. Great. Usually, for some reason, all these little caps end up disappearing. And this has got old brushed on paint on it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's an old paint job, but you can see all the brush marks all over. Yeah. So this was a heavy paint, most likely not an appliance paint, probably like a house paint or something. But it's thick. And it's messy. And well, so this, okay. Let me take this off. Well, hold on. Let's get in position to check this thing out and look at it and check out this old Rochester-made Defiance. Hold on a sec. Okay, so let's get this. There we go. That's toasted, man. I wonder if I got something else like that. Wow. That is so much more toasted than the rest of this. I am assuming it probably doesn't belong on here. Well, before we're done, let's see if I can find something else to plop on here. But we'll see how this. Well, I can tell. I mean, even if I put this on the bench grinder and clean it, it's still gonna look really toasty. Wow. Pretty sure this is not original, but it's original to us because we just. Wow, it's toasted. All right. So, yeah, we'll check that out. We'll look for one of those. So, like I said, this outside lift is just bizarre. So there's that. And that's not enough to light it. But that one is. But that just doesn't make sense down here. There. So you can see. I feel like this should be way up here. And then this position here should be this. Yeah, I'll have to look that over. See if maybe this needs to be bent different. Oh, okay, I do see that there's some kind of peculiarness here. Yeah, wow, look at all that thick paint. Yikes. Yeah, we want to get that off of there. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I think this natural position needs to be up here. And then, oh, what just happened? Oh. Yeah, I think that this position needs to be right there. Doesn't that make sense? It does. All right, well, let's first of all, let's get this globe out of here. Beautiful, beautiful Defiance globe plate. Love the Defiance globe plate. My favorite. Nice big fatty. Look at the bubbles. Great. That bubbles and swirls. Bubbles and swirls. Love that in a globe. Bubbles and swirls. We'll see if we want to put this back in there or not. I don't see why not. I don't have a Defiance marked globe. This will be just fine. Put back in. By the way, the audio you hear in the back is the Bills game coming up here in a couple hours. It is the last game at their present stadium. So I'm listening to some pregame stuff here. Unfortunately, you don't see these things laying around everywhere where I could pick it one up and see exactly how this is supposed to be bent. Is that supposed to be straight across? Okay, well, we'll have to come back to that. Can I get that out of there? That's another question. I do not see an easy way to get that out without screwing it up. Okay, so we'll have to keep it on there. All right, so cap comes loose, and it is brass. Okay, that's nice. Uh-oh. Wow, that looks painted on there, too. So I'm going to go around here before I try to pry at anything. Make sure we break any kind of paint bond, if there is one. Let's see. I'm going to put this back on for now. Like I said, these little ones get lost easy. So, let's see if we can get this to budge at all. Okay, good. It's coming off. Excellent. There we go. There we go. All right. Wow, lots of paint. Man, oh man. And this came out excellent. Things are working. Great. There's old wick. We'll put that right back in there. Why not? This will clean up just fine. Wow, and I can see my reflection in the bottom of that tank, which is great news. Wow. Super shiny. All right. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Man, it's like they painted over dirt and mud and stuff. And this old paint. but it's coming off. It's coming off, folks. I am sorry. Yeah, just too much thick and grossness. No way to clean that up, make it look nice at all. Yeah. It certainly feels like the steel is going to be great underneath. Well, first thing got to be done is get the paint off. Now, I think we're just going to go right to actually getting this paint off. I just want to sample, look around. Wow, yeah, the more I do this, the more I'm seeing those brush marks. And the more just the grime I can get off, the easier the paint removal will be. Because there's a lot of grime on top of this paint. It's a brass brush, by the way, so brass is a softer metal than the tin this is made of. So it's not as evasive as it looks or sounds. And like I said, I'm kind of just sampling to see what's going on here as I go along. Yeah, we'll have some fun trying to figure out exactly how this is. Yeah, we'll have to do it with interesting. So, yeah, I feel like this is where it should be, right? Up in there like that. But that's not matching up at all. Huh. Yeah, that. Weird. Yeah, it's hard to figure out without a burner and globe and everything on there. Okay. Well, all right. So I'm going to sit there and just keep staring at that. I think I'm just going to, we got to get the paint off. And like I said, once we get it back and a bit more reassembled, then we'll start playing with this. But there's definitely something wrong here. And I don't think that this dent is drastic enough to affect it. I think something's bent wrong. Something's bent wrong. And this being, probably one of the first outside lifts that Defiance had. This is very old Defiance. In the age of the company itself, for sure. So this is probably an experimental, first year run trying to do this. And, outside lift. So first, this hanging out. It'll catch on everything, man. Look at that. So I think it needs to be up in there somewhere for its resting position, not out like that. For sure. I think this is just bent wrong here. But we'll get back to that. All right, so we're going to go get some paint off. And I think while that does its thing, I'm going to come back and work on this bale and this burner. I'm going to see if I can find something around here that's nicer than that. I hope. I got a lot of bales, but not necessarily that shape. And I'm certainly not going to bend one. I wouldn't do that well enough. I don't think. But we'll check it out. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this over to the kitchen sink, throw some yellow capped heavy duty Easy Off on here. I will plop it in a garbage bag. Give it a couple hours, you know, maybe I'll wait till after the game. When the game starts, hour from now. And we'll take it from there. But I'm going to come back in here and try to figure that out in the interim. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so we have this toasty thing, and I just found this much less toasty thing. Oh yeah, perfect. Awesome. And I tell you, by weight, I mean, there's so much. This is so toasted that it is lighter than this is. Great. So, I mean, we'll put this in the parts bin. There'll be something that really needs a bale. And we got it. So, we'll take this in, you know, we'll get this, we'll get this bent accordingly. But you want to put them on there under tension anyway, so that's why this bend is good. Okay. Awesome. So, I'll go to the bench grinder with that, and with this, we'll get this cleaned up. Wow, man, all that paint. Holy moly. All right, so we'll do, I'll get this cleaned up. This will go in the parts bin. We'll clean this up, and I'll be back. All right. Okay, we are back from paint removal. This is nice, man. Nice and clean. Lots of paint left in the corners and things, but yeah, one application and about an hour it took. So a lot of times, like with Easy Off, which is my favorite now, it's my favorite for paint removal. So a lot of times, depending on the type of paint and the color, so silver metallic, gold metallic, and red are awful to get off. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know what it is, but it's insane. So a lot of times, some paints, you know, if you put it in a bag and go overnight and things like that, the next day you just run it under a hot spigot, hot water, and it all comes right out for you. You almost don't need to do much of anything except maybe, you know, soap and a sponge after. Other stuff, you pulled out like this, like I pulled it out of the bag, you know, just to inspect it to see, you know, hey, is it getting the paint off? And it'll just look like nothing was coming off, and I would just kind of rub it like this, and this paint wasn't moving. But, you know, I hit it with like a scrubbing pad. Much like this one, it just came right off. So it took me just a couple minutes, and then the soap and water, just to make sure, because I'm telling you, man, you got to have gloves on. Even me, you know, that had Teflon hands from being a chef for so long. That Easy Off, man, that sucks all the oils out of your skin, and it feels really weird, especially in the wintertime when air is already really dry. So really dry hands are a pain in the butt when you got them. All right, so I'm gonna go right to the bench grinder and get this cleaned up. Yeah, this is gonna look really nice, man. Really nice. There's really no damage to this thing, except this dent and a little bit of issue with the bale holes. Parts of the scrubber from the kitchen. But who knows, maybe I can kind of clean those up a little bit so it will accept the new bale we have for it. All right, so this is gonna be really nice, man. I am excited. Okay, I like finding these older Defiance, man. I find a ton of Triumphs, number 2 Triumph, and I got a bunch of them. I found homes for a number of them because I just ended up with too many. I was grabbing them all, and I just realized that they are very numerous around here because Rochester, right there, and that's about 35 minutes from where I'm sitting right now, and that's where I was born. Yes. Okay. So let's get this baby on bench grinder and this, and we already got the burner cleaned up. You saw that, and the bale, our new replacement bale. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, we just need to bend that. We need to bend it so the tension is going out, so it doesn't come out this. Whatever it was in before was tension the other way. Not sure why. I don't know. But, okay. We got our incense lit. We got supervised babies there watching. Now, let's go to the bench grinder, and I'll be back in no time at all. Yeah. Look at this. Looking real nice, man. This is going to be a beauty. I am happy. Happy. So I think I'll start out with a junk bit. I'm going to start a fresh one. Man, I got so many beat up ones in here. I might as well use up a couple of these and get them in the garbage. It's got to be economical, man. Got to be economical. Because the thing is with, if you're going to flip something over this, I'm keeping this. But, if I'm doing up something that I'm most likely going to sell, the market does not allow markup for your time spent redoing it, refurbishing it, restoring it, cleaning it, whatever it is you do. Your time is really not worth much to the market on lanterns. I'm doing it because I love to do it. I have so much fun sitting here in the lab and doing it. And it costs money to do. It does. It does with all this stuff. Right down to the kerosene and all the tools and all the little bits and, the stuff I go buy at flea markets, like old tools to do old things with. All my hammers and everything. Yeah. So, it's a labor of love, really, for this particular lantern collector right here. All right, so I'm going to go to a junk bit and see in this. This started out like that. I'm using this till there's nothing left. Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. It adds up. Need to get like Dremel to be a sponsor or something. Send me some tools. These are not Dremel bits. These are imitations that I have gotten from other means. I like the Dremel bits. I'm getting these for half as much. And, some of them maybe don't last as long, but long enough for there to be savings. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go junk bit. We're going to get in all the corners and, well, no, not in the corners. This is not my corner getting. This is just to get the junk. Just all the junk from spots like that, the bench grinder wouldn't get to, and they're just workhorses. That's what they are. All right, let's get to it. Right. Okay. Yeah, I have clearly overused these. And I put a little scratch in there because I got my angle bad. So when you get them when they're rounded off this bad, you just got to use them straight on. You can't use them at an angle because this little edge here becomes a little cutting edge. It'll etch right into your metal. You don't want that. This is, yeah, so I just threw them all out. So I'm going to start a fresh junk bit, which is great because I do see a number of areas here that I really could have used this fresh one. There are some angles here. So when these are new, you got an edge on these. When they're new, you got this nice corner here to get in little spots. But it'll soon round off, as you just saw from what I just showed you. But so if you have areas that you want something with a corner or an edge, do it first before this rounds off. It's going to round off real fast, really fast. So, new fresh junk bit. I am excited to initiate this. All right, let's get it. So I think now I'm going to go to a fresh wheel here and get in my seams and things, and then I will go with a pointy bit, and then we'll hit it with a nylon bit, and then we'll be ready for reassembly and treatment and all the fun stuff. Okay, so let's see. Where am I going here? All around here, up in there, over there. Love it when I got a fresh bit on here. There's, yep, that fell on the floor. That's gone forever. Or it'll end up embedded in the flesh of my foot. There we go. Yeah, that's like before and after. Yeah, that's going in the garbage too. All right, so a little of this and a little of that, and all right, let's go. are done with this cleanup part of things, and I think now we're going to steel wool it, and then we'll throw some linseed oil on here, and we'll be done. Well, we got a little assembly to do. And I decided, by the way, I was looking over these holes for the bale in the air tubes here, and I think they're worn just right. To tell you the truth, I think if I close them up, we're going to have a problem. If I try to close them up a little bit, we're going to have a little bit of a problem with moving around with the bale on there, I think. So I'm going to leave them worn as they are. Okay. That. All right, let's do some steel wooling and some oiling up. What do you say? We are looking stellar here, so let's do a little assembly. Yes, indeed. Ooh, that we're barely gonna touch the bottom, but ooh, that's pretty close to not hitting bottom. Well, that's good for display. Nice original lick in there. Got there. Nice. Got this polished up a little bit. I didn't go for the mirror finish. This is kind of like a matte finish on the brass. There's that. Very nice. Now we got our bale, so I'm going to bring this together so the tension is the other way around. Let's see. All right. Yeah, like I said, this has a couple issues, but okay, good. Yeah, we can go up and over. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Now, globe, we went and cleaned that up. Love those bubbles. All right. Look at that. They're all together. I'm trying not to touch the glass because I don't want to. Yeah, boy, I tell you, man, there's something weird with that. Because, yeah, see, that's up, but that doesn't seem to give enough room to light it. It doesn't, I don't know if it's supposed to or not. I mean, yeah, I would assume it's supposed to. So when the globe's not in here, I think this seems to function right, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that doesn't seem right to me, but it works. It certainly works. This thing looks great. Nice replacement bail, which is in so much better shape than the one that was on here. Here we have it, man. Defiance of Rochester, #2. Defiance. With a very unusual outside lift. I think that is cool. I'm going to have to ask the group. Anybody seen an outside lift like this? Oh, by the way, if you saw me like peeking close here with my tripled up on my glasses, last patent date is March, looks like March 21st of 05. So 1905. And that's, I would say that's right. I would say that's right for a build date for this, you know, a small cap and this unusual outside lift. And Defiance was only like established in 1900, so this was a very young company when this came out. That's why it's cool. All right, well, let's come on down here and take a look at what we did. All right. Yeah, what a big, tall drink of water this is. So, here we are. Very nice. Hello there, Defiance. Yeah, look at them bubbles. Yep. Hello there, Bubbles. All right, well, folks, here we have it. That is going to do it for this beautiful lantern project. Nice and old, 120-year-old lantern. Folks, that's going to do it here from the lab. And as usual, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.